All right, we're bringing together the Avengers. All right, we have from all corners of Canada. Got myself from AFU. We got the Wiz, Football Fanatics. Hey, this is you talk about a media team. This is it right here, guys. Introduce yourself. It's gonna be fun. So this is gonna be a fun one.
Well, if nobody called their shot yet, I'll dibs on Spidey. I'm a big Spidey guy, so if we're representing the Avengers, I'll go with Spidey. But just going with myself, I'm Cole from Canadian Football Fanatics. We cover all things Canadian football, as does obviously you guys. Exciting morning, man. Getting up on an April morning. It's a little earlier back in the West Coast than your guys' south, so it was 7 a.m. kickoff. It was nice. It was an exciting game, like I was saying. A little bit of a slower start to the game, but to see 56 points in the game total, it was an exciting one rather than maybe a slower, low scoring game. So overall, man, it was an exciting time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm the notorious Wizard Takes. I know a lot of guys know we cover mostly Canadian junior football, but after hearing about this Canada game, we knew we had to jump all over it. So I know I've been on the podcast before, so some people might remember you, but it's really a privilege to work alongside you too, and hopefully getting that beautiful game out to all sorts of eyeballs on different channels.
Absolutely, and I think we can all agree this after this game, I think we all knew this was an absolutely loaded roster. Heading in. And I guess today just showcases it. Like from all facets of the game, things is really lit up. And one thing that I really pointed out was just how much our O line and D line were just dominating.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, football starts with everything in the trenches, right? And they kind of touched on a little bit in the broadcast of at the end of the game there with, being able to see how big they were in person. And with the size, only obviously comes athleticism as well and being quick and fast. And definitely agree with, it was definitely noticeable that the Team Canada had the advantage in the trenches.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm looking at the heights and weights of these guys. These guys are absolute animals. 6'4", 6'5", 6'4", all over 300 pounds. I mean, you could really see that Canadian toughness is on full display. And, the Italians did a great job, but it's tough to compete with that Canadian grit. I know a lot of these guys are, they played football minus 30, so bringing that toughness out to Europe. I know it was, they gave Italy a lot to handle.
Yeah, like where would you say you don't want to say like there's a weakness on our team, but it's so hard to point out. Like every facet of the game is O line, D line, DBs. Everyone was making plays. Everyone was just flying around. I one thing that really stuck out to me was there's a couple guys on the team that I think this is their first game back, uh, back into football in a while, like contact football. They probably play flag or play catch here or there, but like in an actual live game, contact, head on a swivel. I think there's some guys who are reminiscing. They're reminiscing like, oh yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Like back on the field making catches. Um, that was really fun to see and really exciting to see.
For sure. Wiz, you want to go first, buddy?
Yeah, like I mean, I agree. I mean, even when you look at like preseason, like the NFL and CFL, when they've been training all off season, the play. I don't want to say it's sloppy, but it's a little slow. I know Canada and Italy started off a bit slow, especially considering this team came together pretty quick. But I'd say they're pretty sharp. I mean, Travis Miller had the offense, humming. I mean, passing, running. I mean, they were able to do it all. A lot of balance, even late in the game when they were up by a lot they're still slinging it around. Like I think it was a tremendous, display of, like the quality of football in Canada, considering like how quick they they put the team together. Like I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have even known. They would have thought they were practicing for months, like the way they were playing. I think it was tremendous. It was a really great performance by not just the players but the coaching staff. Getting the boys ready. I think it was a great game and hopefully the first of many.
Yeah, when talking about like guys that really maybe haven't played football in a while too, I think of three guys specifically on offense that were pretty big names that had a pretty big impact this morning, and specifically with Michael O'Connor, Travell Pinto, Jamal Lyles, kind of CFL guys that maybe didn't get to leave the game necessarily on their terms and probably were uncertain of how their football careers were maybe going to end. And a guy with Travell Pinto obviously gets drafted to the Calgary Stampeders, isn't really able to kind of um, you know fulfill his CFL career or his CFL dreams a guy like Michael O'Connor who, gets drafted highly in the CFL, appears for a couple teams. I thought did pretty serviceable for the BC Lions back in, I believe, 2023 when he was backing up Nathan Rourke, and unfortunately, just for injuries, never really got an opportunity after that. Um, and then Jamel Lyles, a guy that got opportunities with the BC Lions as well as the Edmonton Elks, and a guy that I think we're all very familiar with, a BC boy number one, I will say, but came to the West Shore Rebels, obviously lit it up with the West Shore Rebels and set multiple records, breaking Andrew Harris's records, goes on to go back to the University of Manitoba, a very highly touted recruit in the country, and unfortunately for him, just never really able to get kind of traction within an organization, and his career ends up kind of probably maybe by his standards coming short, never getting the opportunity after that, and then by blessings of tournaments like this kind of opening up, they're able to shop on the pads again, represent Canada, and we're three of our probably better players on offense today.
Mm. It's an exciting time. Like that was definitely one thing where I noticed with those guys, like, man, like they love football. They love football, and like as much as like you're excited for football, I think it's a different energy when you're like on the field, like, man, I miss this. I reminisce about this. You dream about it, you think about it, and to have it have a chance to showcase again, it was really awesome to see those guys ball out and play at a high level. Like I think there was the play where I think O'Connor rolled to the right. They did a little backside drag across the field. Hit Pinto. Pinto literally just turned up, full speed ahead, ran to the side, trucked the cornerback, right? Did a celly, and you could tell like just like it was a different coming through the screen. Like I bet in person at the sideline, you're like, oh, like this kid's hyped, but like me seeing it through the screen, hundreds of thousands of kilometers away or hundreds of kilometers away, I was like, oh yeah, this is an exciting team to be in, a very dangerous team because guys are glad to be back in pads. Anything you want to add, Wiz? One thing I wanted to, I think, touch on that's quite fun was the coaches' shirts. I
Yeah,
think that was quite fun to see. I
pretty
love,
pretty unique.
yeah, pretty unique. Give me like Hawaiian Canadian vibes. I love that. I think that was quite fun to see. So I think that was something that was pretty cool to see. And they all coordinated that. I think that's one thing that like as a coaching staff, you have like the typical chinos and a polo shirt, but a polo shirt that can come together. I think that's something that really adds into the spirit of funness that comes with this.
Yeah, no,
I,
I love those shirts. I mean, it really adds that Canadian spirit. There's a lot of character, and I just wanted to add on something Cole said. Like a lot of these guys haven't played football like in years, so like I know there's some professional football in Europe. I don't know how like the pay grade is and if it how much, but it really could serve as like a tryout for an opportunity to potentially play on one of those teams. I thought. I know scouts are probably looking at this game pretty close, and maybe some guys will be able to bounce back and potentially play in Europe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Have either of you guys had any experience with Europe or talked to any players about their time in Europe?
a little bit. GM for the Vancouver Island Raiders, Tarek Bryan, had a little bit of experience playing in Europe, and then just some other Raider alumni that have all said good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple players. I mean, I've been doing some recruiting to get some guys out to the CJFL. So I don't know all about the quality of play, but I know quite a few have been jumping into the CJFL. I know St. Clair had an offensive lineman, Izad El Nagmi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name right, but he had a cup of coffee with the Alouettes. Now he's back playing professional in Europe. I believe he's from the UK. So there is an opportunity for some players that maybe don't maybe a little older in the CFL. Their time's done to still potentially play decently high level football. I know it's like that in hockey a lot. You see a lot of guys. Maybe they play in the NHL, go down to the A, then they bounce around in Europe. It gives them an opportunity to continue to play the sport they love.
Big time. And as we're about at the 10-minute mark here, I know we're doing this quick post game here. What are some of the things that I guess we can share a bit of a moment of like what we're all working on? Is I know you've recently taken on as a OFC social media coordinator, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to be the co-media coordinator, so not quite full ranks, but it's a step in the right direction, I'll say. And there's a lot of big things coming for the Wizard. I mean, this Football Canada one was pretty big for for all of us. So I think it will be the first of many collaborations between the three of us.
100%. And for you, Cole, with Canadian Football Fanatics, what do you have? What do you have in the pipe?
So a lot of things going on right now, but obviously, most importantly, it's draft season. So I know me and Wiz got some things cooking up for some mock drafts and stuff like that. We'll actually be live on Monday night doing another mock draft on our channel, and then we'll be live on CFL Draft Day, live for, I believe, unofficially right now, but probably for rounds 3 to 7. We may go 1 to 7. We're just kind of undecided as of now, but yeah, mock draft season right now, and then obviously you guys can find our podcast episodes on our YouTube channel as well.
That's great to hear. And for those who tuning in, not our first time with Alberta Football Uncensored, we mainly cover football across Alberta. Our roots do come from the men's league here with the AFL and our season coming up. So our main theme when it comes to the men's side of things, we like to stir the pot, talk that ish, if you know what it is. Every team likes to do that. And then as well, we do some high school stuff where we like to highlight some of the high school players that are up and coming in high school programs that are just out there developing athletes. I think what's really cool with all of us being here and everything, like, I think we joked about it in the beginning in the pre meeting, was we're all the different parts of the Avengers. We all cover different parts of football, different areas, and we're all trying to do our best way to help elevate the game. And Cole, I think you said it best, we're leave the game better than we found it.
Sure. One question I'd love to throw back to you guys before we get out of here, honestly. But with the win today, obviously that means we're going to be playing, I believe, next November in the big tournament. Does this guy kind of give you a little bit more confidence going forward that like maybe we're going to be able to place pretty well next year in the tournament?
Oh yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I would think so. I mean, I'm not too, can't say I'm super informed on the international games, so like I don't know how, like the systems, if they have really good coaching, good support system around them. But I would think talent wise, Canada's right up there with like the best in all of the entire world. I mean, obviously the United States is number one, but they aren't much of a player in the international scene. They kind of stick to themselves. So I'd feel pretty confident in our boys. I mean, a lot of them haven't played a ton of American football, and you honestly couldn't even tell. Like the way they're coaching and playing, it was just amazing. I want to give a huge shout out to Travis Miller, head coach of the Okanagan Sun. I mean, he called an amazing game, and you saw him walking up and down the sidelines with the boot. He had a tragic accident. He's been recovering amazing, and the fact that he's already out there, I mean, the guy's an absolute trooper, big ambassador for the game. It was great to see him out there doing amazing.
Mm-hmm. He was calling a game, like as much as you look at like play calls of like, oh, that player just athletically got open versus like schematically got open. There was a perfect balance of both of guys, making great plays, contested catches, and then I found a handful of times where it's like, man, like great call by Travis, just guy's wide open.
Yeah, he's the real deal. Great offensive coordinator, great head coach. He got a really great performance today, and I mean it helps when you got the guys around him. But even that trick play, just the time and calling it was executed perfectly. Couldn't have drew it up better.
Absolutely. Could you imagine if they drew that one literally in the huddle?
I can see that.
Anything you want to say here, Cole, before we wrap up?
No, I think that was awesome, boys. I'm looking forward to. It's unfortunate we got to wait until I believe November until next time we got to see this team play.
Yeah, it's too bad, but it'll be exciting come November.
Yeah, maybe this hopefully entices some of the guys to. I'll plug the men's league here in Alberta. I know there's a men's league in Ontario. Like, hey, like we play from May till August. Good chance to get some football in, high level football as well. Our AFL league here is growing at a great standard of play, which I think is one thing that's really stood out. And I'll give that. I'll say this: if the football itch is back, hey, come scratch it here with the AFL. I probably doesn't sound the greatest, but it is what it is.
Love it. It's on your league.
I know there's been some high level, I believe, like CJFL alum and U Sports alum that have played in that league. I believe, correct?
Yeah. There's a good chunk. A lot of guys will finish their 5 years of junior, 5 years of U Sport, maybe even 7 if they go from junior to U Sport, and it's just it's a great league to come in and continue to play. And then I find play in AFL and then go to Europe. Great way to get filmed there and go on. So I think that's one thing now where AFL is really just trying to do a good thing of just attract high level players, increase this level of the game, and allow players to elevate themselves because it's a great spot to where imports can come in. There's no cap on imports. Only thing I think that really makes the AFL different from other leagues similar to it is there's no compensation. So a lot of guys, imports, think they all want to come in and get paid. Doesn't work like that, fortunately. We're a working man's league, and we're funded by the love of the game from football.
It's an awesome opportunity, though.
Absolutely. With that being said, what needs to happen so I can get you, Cole, and Wiz over here playing as well? You guys play some VI, you guys play some junior, so come on out. Hey, we're looking for players.
I had a little small connection, actually. I believe I don't think they exist anymore, but the Fort McMurray team, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago when I graduated from the Vancouver Island Raiders, they reached out and there was some communication going on there about possibly coming out, but then it was COVID, obviously, a few months later. So unfortunately, things just didn't work out.
Yeah, I think my playing days are done. I'm just gonna stick to being an analyst. I don't think it'd be pretty if I got back on the field.
You might have some people in the comments strapping up as well.
Yeah.
I'll be getting chirped to oblivion. I'll be getting trash talked into retirement. I wouldn't be able to show my face on Wizard. You guys would only be seeing this for the rest of time.
Oh boy. Well, hey, this is fun. Hey, looking forward to the next time the Avengers assemble. Right, I think that might be our group chat here now, just the Avengers, and we'll work with this and play off it.
Sounds good. Thanks
Sounds
so
good.
much.
Can't wait for more.
Absolutely. All right, guys, take care. We'll chat soon.
Later.